Good evening, everyone. It's another episode of The Spice of Life. And yes, I've been running around all day, came home, didn't get a chance to be all chefy, but I have my apron on, my hair is wrapped, and now you know my favorite color is blue. So today, what we're gonna do something quick and easy. I had a craving for what we call Jamaican rundown last week, as a serious craving. But normally it's done with salt mackerel and it's a coconut sauce. I've never recalled finding salt mackerel here in all the time I've been in Turkish Vegas. And so I had to figure out a way how to get that really nice goodness. And so I decided, you know what? The sauce is the key. So I decided I was going to improvise and create a dish that utilized that sauce and fix my craving. So come along with me on this journey as we go into salmon with coconut rundown sauce. Welcome back. And so we're going to go over what we're going to use today in our dish. We have, of course, our Holy Trinity, red, green, and gold, bell peppers. We have some sweet Vidalia onions. We have some pumpkin for color, and it's just so nice. Over here, we have some fresh thyme. We have just a hint of ginger, because you know I love ginger. And we have like 2 little leaves of sage. We have some green onions. We have some carrot sticks, and of course, tomatoes. And here we have our 2 salmon steaks that we're going to use in our dish. Over here on this, of course, this is called pickled herring or red herring in Jamaica. And what we're going to use this for is to bring that rich smokiness to the sauce, because we do not have the salted mackerel and we're using a delicate flavored fish such as salmon. So this is going to really bring in that nice smokiness. On the stove here, we have going on here our coconut milk. And this is just coconut milk. You can buy it in a can. If you do it from scratch, I don't know who does it anymore from scratch. I know I do not. But you take your coconut milk and you put it on the stove and you give it 45 minutes. And you just put it to a light simmer. You notice it's barely bubbling. And what's going to happen, it's going to reduce to almost like a custard. And when it's reduced and you see a thin film of like oil on the top, that's when you know it's ready. And as you can see here, we do have that thin film of oil, and that took about 45 minutes. The heat is halfway between low and medium, so you know it's not on a boil. It just simmers down, and that's what's going to be the essence, the coconut custard that makes up the liquid of the sauce. So that's what it is. And so when I'm back, we'll just put it all together, because this is just going to be quick and easy. Once you've prepped everything, 15 minutes, dish done. Okay, see you in a minute. Welcome back. And so this, as I said, this is going to be a very quick dish, very easy. We've already prepped everything. So the pumpkin, we've just peeled, diced, and boiled, parboiled, because it's going to finish cooking inside the sauce, and it's just for color and meatiness to the dish. The red herring or smoked herring, I'm just going to cut it up because I'm just going to add it to the dish for the essence of the smokiness. You would not believe how much flavor this will add. So that's done, and we're going to get started. So we need our trusty olive oil. And the pan doesn't need to be super hot. See, every kitchen has its hiccups. So the oil is there. And And we're just gonna start slow, adding our ingredients. So there we go with the sweet onions, the bell pepper. And you notice that these aren't diced as I usually do. They're, cut in strips because you want to see it. You want to see it in the dish. And we're adding everything. We put in the ginger. You don't have to put the ginger. You know ginger is my thing. I put it in everything. It's gonna be nice. At this point, I'm gonna add this smoked herring because it's also very salty. And a lot of the salt in the dish is going to be coming from the pickled herring. You can already smell that herring because it's salty, smoky, and it's going to infuse everything with a flavor. One of the things I also did with the coconut milk when I put it to simmer, I added some allspice or pimento seeds. It just adds so much wonderful flavor. And a little crushed red pepper flakes. Or you can just cut up some Scotch bonnet or red chilies if you want to. So it's there doing its thing. We're gonna add the carrots because they're a little crunchy. And the carrots is just my addition. Traditionally, you do not find carrots in a rundown sauce. In Jamaica, when my mother used to prepare rundown, rundown is like a Thursday evening dinner dish. Thursdays are usually easy. Thursdays in Jamaica, people tend to call it stew peas day or tripe and bean day or rundown. Something easy, something quick. And normally, we do this with ground provisions. So when you get your meal of rundown, you just get a plate and you get your yam and your green bananas and your ground provision and dumplings. And it's all sitting in this sauce. So everything is cooked in that sauce and it's just unbelievable. So that's the flavor and the memory that is driving this meal. So we have our nice, look at that color. And trust me, this entire kitchen smells like smoked herring. I'm gonna add the tail in just for measure because it's mainly for the flavor. And that way I'll avoid adding any salt to the dish. So what I'm gonna do, I'm creating this space right here. And in this space right here is where I'm gonna put my salmon to start cooking. So let me bring my salmon over here. And I'm just gonna put a little pink salt on that. Doesn't need much, because it's gonna get most of its, this is gonna get all the flavors infused in it in the sauce, because I'm just gonna sear it lightly, and then after that I'm gonna add the coconut custard. So there's the salmon, and I'm gonna put it right there in the middle. You see, it's getting that. One of the things people always ask me about searing food, my philosophy is just put the thing in and leave it alone. Let it get its sear, because the pot is hot. So you put the meat or the fish in, it's gonna stick to the pot. And you just leave it alone because it's gonna then develop that nice seared like a scab on the meat. And when that's done, it would be easy to move. So the meat don't, or the fish or anything doesn't fall apart when you're attempting to move it, because it has formed that. So, you don't mess with food. You don't flip and flop the food. Just leave it in the pot, leave it on the grill, and let it do its thing. And you see the salmon has that ring of fat, because this is that nice wild caught salmon. I'd ordered this for a client who was coming in, but the trip was canceled because of COVID. So I end up having a lot, all this salmon that I'd pre-ordered, which is a good thing. So I'll be eating a lot of salmon for a while. So I'm letting that sear. And when we're back, you'll see how this dish is going to come together quickly. So we'll be right back. So we are back, and the salmon is in the pot. And what we're going to do is just add all these other things, and then we're basically wrapping this dish up. So, of course, we have tomatoes, and all of this is just for added flavor and color to the dish. We're going to add our sprigs of thyme. Or a couple pieces of sage, and this is just my addition, the sage, because I love sage. One of my favorite herbs. We're going to add some green onions. That's just for flavor. And so we're going to flip. You notice I had flipped over the salmon. We're going to turn this over, and you see that nice color. So this dish is practically complete. And what we're going to do is, you know what? I'm going to add our coconut sauce right now. Now this is just coconut milk boiled down for 45 minutes with some pimento seeds and some chili flakes. And it's turned into a nice custard. To that, we're going to add some pumpkin just for color. And it gives you something else to hold on to in this dish. If you're trying to cut back on your starch, just add the veggies in, that nice pumpkin. Gonna let the pumpkin soak up that sauce. The only thing left to add to this is some spice. Some pepper flakes. Add a few pimento seeds to release some more flavor into that sauce. A little black pepper. And guess what? This dish is done. I leave this for 5 minutes, let the sauce cook down some more, and that's what's called a rundown sauce. The rundown is the coconut, the cooking down of the coconut cream to becoming that custard and getting that. Once you see that oil forms on the top, you've gotten to where you need to go. You add it to what? Normally, all of this is done in one pot. Seriously. But I'm showing you how you can get a nice rundown sauce without putting everything in one pot. You can do your custard on one side, prep everything together. You can use this with any fish you can. And for those people who love to experiment, I think you could also use this with pigtail. But don't put the red herring in. You already have the salt and the smokiness. So this dish is done. And we're going to let it go for another 5-10 minutes. I think I'm going to leave it for another 5 minutes because the salmon is already cooked. All the other ingredients cooked. We're just infusing flavor. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to plate it up. So see you in a minute. We're back and we're about to plate up this dish. Now I have a slice of avocado. We got some rice, because you know my cameraman have to eat. And we have our dish right here. So now this is a meal unto itself. You did not even need to add all of this. But we Caribbean people, we like our rice and things. So we're going to take up our salmon, put it to the side here. Then we're going to get all this goodness. Now this is the magic of the dish. This sauce, this coconut sauce. In a Caribbean household, this is added just like almost like a soup, because you're going to have all that ground provision. You know, in an Indian household, you have some roti. And trust me, I wish you could smell this through to your computer, your phone, wherever you're watching it from. I wish you could smell this. That smokiness from the red herring, the nice coconut custardy sauce, and that's it. So that's a new way to do salmon. You know, normally people come into the restaurant, they expect to see salmon, blackened salmon, you know, but this way it's like a steamed salmon, but with all the richness of the coconut. And if you notice, not once did I add salt to this dish, because the smoked red herring provided all the salt you needed. And that salt goes into the salmon, it goes into the pumpkin, it goes into the sauce with the smokiness and all the other herbs, the thyme, the scallion, the bell peppers, the ginger, and the red chilies all went into this dish. And that's it, an easy way for us Caribbean people who are from Jamaica, you're home in the States and you feel for some rundown, you can't get your hands on some salt mackerel, get some salmon and just create your sauce. And you see how easy it is. Growing up, we always think that the rundown sauce took hours. This literally took 45 minutes. One can on the stove, simmer down, add there all your ingredients. So that's what we've done this week, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you tried. Let me know what you think. For those who are going to be trying it for the first time, you're going to be pleasantly surprised at the gentle, subtle, rich flavors that you get from it. And I know my cameraman is going to enjoy this, and I'm going to enjoy this evening because I love rundown. So see you next week, and we don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be another COVID menu. We're going to check the pantry to see what's in it, and we'll put something together. So see you next week. Enjoy.